Hi, Nagar. Morning.
హాయ్ సార్, గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
సో ఎలా ఉంది మీ పాపకి ఇప్పుడు? షీస్ ఫైన్.
పర్లేదు సార్.
ఓకే. సో జస్ట్ వెయిట్, అదర్స్ ఆల్సో కెన్ జాయిన్.
ఓకే సార్.
సో కాల్స్ ఏమైనా వస్తున్నాయి నాకు? అప్లై చేస్తున్నావా?
అప్లై చేస్తున్నా సార్. కాల్స్ అయితే ఏం రావట్లేదు ఇంకా.
ఓకే ఓకే, స్టార్ట్ అవుతాయి.
Hmm.
స్టిల్ అప్లై. అండ్ ఒకసారి నీ రెజ్యూమ్ నాకు వాట్సాప్లో ఒకసారి షేర్ చేయవా?
ఇప్పుడే చేస్తాను సార్.
యా, ఒకసారి గో త్రూ చేస్తాను, ఏమైనా చిన్న మోడిఫికేషన్.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
యా, హై మార్నింగ్. యా, హై సంతోష్. సో సంతోష్, నీ రెజ్యూమ్ కూడా ఈరోజు గో త్రూ చేస్తాను. ఓకే, సో విల్ డూ చేంజెస్.
ఓకే ఓకే. అది ఒకసారి అది మన డాక్యుమెంట్స్ది లింక్ ఒకసారి పంపిస్తారండి? అది నా దగ్గర కనపడటం లేదు.
ఓకే, రైట్ బైబిల్స్ అండి.
ఓకే అండి.
ఒకసారి మీ మెయిల్ ఐడి టెక్స్ట్ చేస్తారా చాట్లో? షేర్ చేస్తాను చూడండి, మీకు మెయిల్ వస్తుంది. అంటే ఈ లింక్ క్లిక్ చేసినా కూడా మీకు యాక్సెస్ వచ్చింది. Okay, let me proceed. ఇంకొక మినిట్ వెయిట్ చేసి ప్రొసీడ్. లెట్ మీ స్టార్ట్ బై ద సర్వర్.
యా, థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి, వచ్చింది మెయిల్.
మెయిల్ వచ్చిందా? ఓకే. యా, ఓకే. ఏమన్నా గో త్రూ చేశారా, చదివారా? సో ఎనీథింగ్ గో త్రూ. సో రోహిత్, యూ ఆస్క్ అబౌట్ దట్ వాల్యూమ్ AWS volume 1 and is any topics classes
Pawan,
included?
actually, can you show some steps so if any new environment we are set up? Okay. So like what are the components we consider, how we set up the VMs, that means architecture level, or what point we consider that process I want to know.
Okay, like architecture level.
Like means
Usually
suppose if
architecture level we are not doing, but I will
uh,
show you the some of the representations. Okay.
yes.
So that is the one, and AWS disk if you added means how we can do it, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So that is the one point. Is there any other point someone asked, right? సంతోష్ మీరు ఏదైనా అడిగారా పాయింట్
And Pawan,
సబ్మిస్లేనియస్
the process, suppose we have suppose a cloud environment, okay? Suppose I have 10-20 VM. So how we manage day to day as a DevOps not a admin, but as a DevOps engineer, I need some guidelines on this. I told you,
షూర్
na,
షూర్
my profile is that hybrid profile means.
No,
So
actually, for example, let it be, I'm just saying. So usually in production environment, how it will be there means, um, like most of the company, let it be you are working over the geo. Okay.
mhm,
So the environment setup will be happening on 2 or 3 layers basis. Means one is the production, one is the DR, third one is the like a stage, or we are calling as a test environment also. Okay.
mhm,
For example, prod is the environment which is reflecting to the outside of the one. Okay, nothing but whatever the people can see that out of the company. Everything
mhm,
it is calling as a prod. Means, for example, you are able to access the ICICI Bank website. You are logging, you are doing your course of action. You are not an employee of ICICI, but you are
mhm,
performing nothing but you are end user level. End user level, which is coming to the everything is a prod. That is a live. Okay. So, what is the major challenging of here means, for example, let it be some time back you see that log4j issue. Okay, in Microsoft. So that is a normal patching. Okay, that is a normal kind of the patching. But the problem here is that whenever the patching is applying, it's supposed to be applying into the from the bottom of the layer, like a stage environment means the same setup. For example, let it be one server with a whatever config. Let it be you have a one phone, bro. Okay, the phone capacity, whatever the same capacity, we are creating the another phone into another region, not the same region. For
mhm,
example, one region is in Asia, another region will be into the some other place. Let it be Singapore. Okay, so third reason will be we are placing into the another place. Probably it will be into the okay, like a UK, US or something New York. Okay, so why they are placing this is calling as a zones. So
mhm,
why they are placing means if some issue will come, let it be there is a usually India, you many places you will see the flood. Let it be if you take in the AWS means in India, AWS, we have only two data centers. One is the Mumbai, second one is Hyderabad.
Hyderabad.
So both of the places let be some floods came. Okay, there is a lot of issues are happening. Your data is not in a position to represent to the like other people, right? End user level. Okay, let it be I'm staying in a Bangalore. Okay, okay, whatever flood came, but I need a service, right? I'm looking for
Yes.
the service level. I'm not much sacrificed about the company. Okay, I don't want. Okay, I need to transfer the 10 rupees to some other one. That is what the service I'm looking. I don't want your problems and all. So here the customer will be goes away. So that is the reason what the people will do. They will placing into the one India means let it be same Asia like Singapore, Malaysia, some other places. Okay, so same issues it won't be happening. Okay, now the production environment, all the 10 servers are there means usually we are calling as a build team. The build team, above level architectural level team. This team will come up with a requirement. For example, let it be you have a startup. You want to start the like a Swiggy type, some parallel mechanism. So once you're planning to start, The requirement is that you have some 10 members of your have a staff, and your requirement is that I need a 10 members. Okay, 10, let it be 10 servers I need. What is the capacity? The capacity is going to be derived by the client and the architecture, because some of the positions client is not technical guy. Okay, so he is going to connect to the architectural guy. So this is the servers I need. Okay, my requirement is that, okay, whenever someone ordered the food, I need to provide the GPRS, live systems, blah, 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 blah. Means my website always should be up and running. So this is something bold point he placed it. So that is the reason whenever he plays that point, it will going to be highlighted. So you need a, what is a budget? You have a less budget, go with a physical, nothing but your laptop only we can set up the things and all. Let it be your position to place the some amount. Then go with a, okay, virtualization. Nothing but virtualization if you come across means at least you are in a position to maintain the things, okay, and perform the operations. For example, let it be you need a most of availability. Okay, like ICC.com, HDFC.com, these are the banks which are they are looking for the availability. So when you are going for the availability in that time, it will be going with a cloud environment. That should be AWS, Azure, GCP, whatever it may be. There, the server, this is the first layer of the thing. Our requirement become the implementation stage. Means we are selecting the infrastructure. Okay, let it be you have a startup. I don't want to be placed that much. Right now, I'm going with some AWS or sorry, VMware. And later on, if I want means I can go with the AWS. These are the things that will come into the production. So then you are creating the 10 servers, like, same environment, whatever the capacity, same 10 servers you are creating into the stage and the DR. So whenever you are implementing any changes directly, we are not implementing into the prod. We are pushing to the stage, then DR, then prod. This is the architectural level we are going to provide. Okay.
Yeah.
So nothing but see, most of the companies, we are not creating any architectural level because
Mhm.
architecture level interacting with the financial aspect. Okay.
Mhm.
So most of the times we are into the implementation state or support state. Means already architecture is established, setup is there. Your nature of the work is that you need to understand the architecture and you need to implement the things. So this is the way of executions. So just we need to understand how we need to work and what we need to work, the way of execution, how to perform the things and all. So these are the things we are going to be performed usually. Okay.
And Pawan, related to firewall or networking, I don't see any notes there.
Yeah, yeah, that is one networking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, noted down. Yeah. So these are the things I'm going to cover up. Okay, these are the things along with the notes. I will update you. I will take a small class on this. Okay. Okay, let me proceed to the today topic. Okay. So there is one concept called the boot level changes. Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay. So now the requirement is that Okay, for example, when you're coming to the operating system side, so especially we are doing the one kind of the concept called hardening or tuning. So the concept of the hardening and tuning is that the architecture level guy, they are going to decide you that based on the client requirement, whether your operating system should be running on which run level. So what is a run level? When you're dealing with a booting process, okay, when dealing with the BIOS, okay, and the MBR, from there, we are going to discuss about grub, kernel, and we discussed about, okay, init phase and run level. So these are the booting process we discussed in shell stage. So entire whatever the things are we are discussing, it is internally related with these things. So now the problem here is that, so whenever you are booting your operating system, by default, it will be running on two levels, whether it's a 3 or 5. 3 is what? 3 is the referring of command line, but it is functionally everything is we are performing, means all the type of operations. 5 is a representation of the graphical user mode. Okay, so these are the things we are going to be there. Now the requirement is that when the client said that I need to perform the things into the, means whenever the server is booted, it should be into the command line. It should be into the graphical user. This type of the specified requirements we are calling as, we are doing into the hardening step. So how we are going to be perform? So how we are going to be perform in today level. So let me go to the document. So if you can see that here, mode 3 and mode 5, these are the two objects which is there into the picture. So mode 3 is nothing but a command line user interface. No graphical user interface will be there. Means everything is a black and white screen. 5 is a totally into the graphical user interface. It will be there. For example, usually we are running the two commands here to know our run levels. One is a run level. Second one is that systemctl get default. Systemctl get default. So this is the both commands, so you can use it anything. So get default means right now what is the operating system is running upon. If you can see that here, my operating system is running with a graphical user 5. So what is a graphical user 5? The graphical user 5 is consisting of multi-user mode, okay, with a graphical environment, means mode 5. So that is we are calling as graphical target. So that is we are calling as graphical target. Let it be. Now the requirement is that whenever the people are going for the hardening or tuning. So the words are very clear. Hardening or tuning. So because interview time of the questions, people will ask you that have you performed any hardening or tuning? So these are the common questions that people will going to be trigger you. So the commands are very clear. Hardening and tuning are we are going to be not regular basis. Okay, it will be performing on requirement basis, sometimes security basis. Requirement basis means whenever the application team or the client team they come up with a kind of specifications. Okay, I don't want to be graphical. I need a command line. Okay, some like those type of the step. So the in some of the cases security level. Security level also we are going to be perform as per the maybe your vendor. Vendor is nothing but your Red Hat. Red Hat, some of the another point also I need to miss out here. Vendor case. So here only it will be there. SaaS report. This is also one of the important. I'm going to cover it. Okay. So how we are going to be perform these actions? Nothing but whenever the people are come up with a kind of the requirement. So usually we are going with a change execution process. Once everything is cleared, then we are going with a execution modification. For example, right now my server is that with run level 5, I want to change it to the run level 3. How we can perform? So usually when you are performing this one, any change should be downtime is needed, because some of the cases when you are performing unnecessarily your application may be interrupted. So that is the reason approval is needed from your application team and clearance is needed from the all the dependent teams. That should be network, or that should be from the backup storage, or whoever it may be it is running. So let it be, if you can go through that systemctl isolate. So isolate is nothing but if you want to perform immediately. I don't want to go with later on. Immediately, if you want to perform means systemctl isolate space, and what is the, if you want to make it a multi-user target is nothing but your run level 3 multi-user target. So I trigger the thing. Right now my server is running on 5. I want to check it out. So here right now it is not reflected, nothing but graphical user level it is not showing. Let me show you by this one. So right now your server is running on graphical user mode because we did not reboot it. Okay, so that is the reason it is showing this one. For example, if I rebooted my server, the server will be going to be into the command line. Nothing but right now it will be into the command. If it will be performing on immediate basis. You don't want to be take the long time. For example, if you want to perform the same thing from the make it as a permanent basis. If you can see that here by graphical user mode, already it is into the command line. Earlier it was into the graphical base. Okay, now it is into the command line. Let me make it as a graphical. So have you seen this one? I haven't rebooted the server. Now it is into the graphical user mode. Okay. So because I tuned into the graphical user mode, let me trigger you. Right now it is a graphical user mode. Let me trigger you into the multi-user mode. Means without rebooting, you are changing the functionality. But the thing is that when you're going with this command, still it is showing graphical user mode. Why means I perform the things on fly basis, on demand basis. So I haven't rebooted my entire architecture. So that is the reason kernel is treating that still we are into the graphical user mode. If you want to make it permanent means then we need to go with a one more command call, nothing but instead of isolate, we need to as a set default. Set default is the command which will help you out to make your operating system reliable, and it will be help you to move on to the topic. Okay, this is the one you have to be go with a particular thing or whatever it may be. Means make it a permanent changes. System, let it be it is into the graphical user command line mode right now. Okay, now I want to make it as a graphical systemctl set default. default. I want to go with the graphical. So means I am informing my kernel to the go to the graphical user mode. But the thing is that when you trigger this command, you have to go with the reboot of your operating system. Once you rebooted the operating system, it will be going to be come up with the new values. Okay. So let me go with init 6. So init 6 is nothing but for the reboot, or you can go with reboot command. Still, there is one more command, shutdown hyphen R is nothing but reboot. H is means halt, stop it. I want to reboot now. I'm rebooting the server right now. So the server is rebooting. So you people are able to see, right? Now it is into the graphical user mode. So only one is the what is the problem here means you have to reboot your operating system. You have to reboot your operating system. So this is one of the step we are going to perform it into the at the time of like a operational activities. So operational activities nothing but when you're performing the hardening and all, we are using this kind of phases. So this is the one of the major thing because when you're performing the hardening, the client always expecting this type of the support. Nothing but most of the times isolates are very less because isolate will be performing only before the reboot it will be working. For example, a rebooted means everything will be going to be disappear. So that is the reason none of the clients or none of the persons are not going with the isolate mechanism until unless there is a kind of specific reason. If not, people are going with the default mechanism like a set default because we should not relay that one your server will be running 24/7 all the days. There is some issue with their application level, server level, disk level. So there is a kind of issues will going to be mess up. In that time, it will going to be problematic situations. So that is the reason. So when you people are dealing with any time of the operations, make sure that it will be performing into the clearest. Okay. So any doubts here?
No problem.
Okay. So then there is a yeah. So when you're dealing with any kind of operating system, one of our day-to-day aspect is that okay, doing of changes, nothing but any password you forgot, you need to change the password, or some of the troubleshootings you need to change it. In the time, how we can go it. So there is a two times of the objects will be there. Let it be. Last time, at the time of we discussed about the LVM, we explain about the FSCK. So FSCK indication of file system check. We are going to be performing to the operating system level. So it will help you to mitigate your file system issues. So there is a sum of scenarios. Okay, usually you will seeing that in the console. Console means like a here. Here you will see the some of the banners. What are those means? One is that emergency mode. So one is that emergency mode. So what is this emergency mode is nothing but your operating system or BIOS not in a position to serve because some of file systems not in sync. Means what exactly the happening means some of the file system not in a position to sync up. So due to this, your operating system not in a position to sync up. So how you are going to perform means, okay. So when you coming to the emergency mode, it will prompt you the root password. So you need to give the root password. Once you give the root password, so wherever you get a particular issue, particular file system, so you need to do the FSCK. FSCK -I like a /dev mapper pg-lv like this. You need to perform the FSCK of particular file system. So this is one of the error we are going to be perform it at the time of operating with anything. So there is a one more scenario. Actually, whenever I'm discussing about the NFS or Samba, so the problem here is that when you're dealing with the NFS and Samba, those type of the situations, okay, so those disks, the disk which are added, okay, not and local file systems, because these are the file system not from the existing server. It is shared from the some server and we take it upon and we are working upon. So in these situations, there is a lot of the situations will be going to be happening. Means your destination server will not in a position to serve you better. So in that time, your operating system, okay, not in a position to sync up. So in the situation, what we are going to do it, okay. So when you trigger df and th, when you trigger df and th, okay. So let it be this is one of the file system. So right now, let it be just think of that this is NFS file system. So any one of the file system, usually when you trigger df, it is coming. But let it be that particular file system is not mounting because of the destination server, it is not having the connectivity properly. So we are going to etc fs tab and we are commenting the file system. Means for example, whether go with a VM or NAN, come down, let it be this is a file system means you have to comment and you are going to reboot the operating system. So this is one of the case we are going to the perform. So right now my server is up, I can perform very well. If the same issue it is happening into the console, nothing but your server is not coming up because of your shared services are not there. Means your NFS or Samba, it is not mounting. So how you are going to be perform? So just go to the reboot. So that is one we have a document. We are calling as we are going to the single user mode. So single user mode means user mode. We are calling as okay in run levels. Okay, level 1. Run level 1 is an indication of single user mode. Okay, majorly it is using for the administrative purpose. For example, if you can see that here, the single user mode, whenever you are seeing the grub, you have to be interrupt and you need to go with the E. Okay, you have to be update. For example, like a read write init sys root bin sh. This is the one you need to be edited at the time of column. Once you edit it, then you need to be rebooted operating system. So let me have one more document also. This is also what this is with the content. Okay, what is a single user mode? How we are going to take the operating system? Why we are taking the repairing of the operating system, troubleshooting? Okay, so this document also. So here only we are performing the rebooting of your operating system also. Okay, so for example, once you get the graph face, click on the E for the edit. Once you will see the Lich VM link. So this is the one here, you will get it. Okay, you need to rd.break. So we are adding the rd.break also, and we are adding this one also. So any one of the cases you can add it. Okay, so once you add it, it will be going to the single user mode. So once it will be going to the single user mode, you need to be mount to the operating system. So here operating system, we don't have the root disk slash. So we need to route the disk and change the permission to the sysroot. Sysroot is one of the command. It will help you to change the permissions, nothing but give the privileges to your operating system. Then you change the password. So here, let me perform here. Just take a reboot. So whenever you are performing this kind of the activities, make sure you have to take the backup from your network or your operating system level. So reboot, restart. I'm just restarting. Just click the pressure, press escape. So it came out. Yeah. Press escape. It will be wait for a second. Press E. No need of any additional keys, only E. Okay. So now we are into this phase. Now, if you want to come out means Control Alt. Let me come to the document. So here, come to the last. Okay. Add rd.break. rd.break we are going to be added. Okay. After series. rd.break. Okay, so rd.break is the command. It will help you to break the your series and proceed for the single user mode. If not, your operating system will be routing to the, it will be routing to the 5 or 3. Okay, Control X or F10. So go for the Control X or F10. Let me go with the Control X. So now your operating system should be routing to the basic level. So if you can see that here, it is came to the run level 1. Okay. So now here, if you can trigger any type of the commands, you won't get any information. Okay. For example, I want to check the IP address, no information. Okay. Uptime, no information, because your operating system is not mounted to the root. Means your root is not available here. So how to come across means you need to trigger this command like a mount-o, remount, mount-o, remount, remount rw. So this command will help you to root the nothing but mount your operating system. Chroot is nothing but giving the privileges. So chroot /sysroot. So now you can type some of the commands. Somewhat you are getting the update. Every command it won't be work here. Okay, some of the commands only it will be working here. Okay, now here @/etc. So now your FS tab is coming. For example, let it be this is your NFS drive. This particular last column is there, right? UUID. That is a NFS drive. That NFS drive is making the problem. So let it be it is working, it's not working means here nano sometimes won't work. You need to go with here because nano is the graphical interface. VA editor. Let it be this is not working means you need to be commented. You need to be commented. Then you need to reboot the server. Then your operating system into the normal. For example, so this is the face. And here if you want to change your root password also, like a password root, like whatever the password you have to be give the password. Here I did not given the matching password because I don't want to be change it because I have some other dependencies. Okay. For example, if the user is come across with the root password changes or anything, you have to come to this phase and you need to do the changes like this. So once you done, you go for the reboot -f or you go with the usually we are trying one more command sync. Sync is the command, it will help you to just sync up the process. Okay, so reboot -f. So like press once you're coming here, just press escape and type edit. Okay, so right now I don't want to be. So this is the way how it will come into the picture. So have you people understand any doubts?
No, Pawan, this we have to try. Then only.
Yeah, yeah.
will-
This is a very sensitive. Okay, so
Yeah.
try it. Okay, that is the reason Unix environment. If you forgot the root password means that's hell up. Okay. So this one today try to be practice. So these are the documents I'm going to create it, some of the reports. This one tomorrow I'm going to explain you in detail. Okay,
Yes.
all the things. Just just practice the things today. Okay. సో నాకు కూడా అర్థమైంది మీకు కొంచెం ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలి
అవును సార్
ఓకే
ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే
సంతోష్
యా అదే చూస్తుంటే అర్థమవుతుంది కానీ అంటే నా ఓల్డ్ మెమరీస్ గుర్తు చేసుకునే కొన్ని కమాండ్స్ న్యూ థింగ్స్ అనేది కొన్ని వచ్చాయి అనమాట అవి చూడాలి ఒకసారి
అది కొంచెం ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయండి ఓకే
ఓకే
టుమారో ఈ టాపిక్స్ నేను డాక్యుమెంట్స్ తీసుకొచ్చి అప్పుడు డిస్కస్ చేస్తాను ఓకే
ఓకే
షూర్ ఓకే థ్యాంక్ యూ దెన్ మీట్ అప్ టుమారో ఓకే
ఓకే థ్యాంక్
సేమ్
యూ
టైం